All right, so another day, new photo, new edit. I don't think I should elaborate more on as to what's gonna happen because this deep into the journey, I'm sure already you guys already know what the deal is. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this. So if we look at this photo, so before I get actually into that, you would think within a span of 8 hours, you think I would have at least an opportunity to take a photo to, right? But I guess with my schedule recently, that's becoming a little bit more and more challenging. So, yet again, unfortunately, I couldn't take a photo. But again, as I look more towards my memory cards, seem to find more photos to test, really to test, to practice and improve my editing skills. So I can't really complain much about that. So as far as with this photo, I mean, yet again, is it to anyone's surprise? This was in Mexico. But this is of a sunset now. Now there's a reason why I decided to take this photo because if we remember from day 9, yeah, I don't. It was it was interesting to say the least as far as my attempt with nighttime photography. So I would in a way consider this nighttime photography, even though this is kind of in the midst of, I guess, daylight and nighttime. It's just I still consider it as a good opportunity to practice more. Again, really no tutorials leading into this. It's just going in blindly in a way and seeing what changes or really how much I've progressed since day 9. Right, may not be much, but that's the case. Now, as far as with this momentum I have, don't get me wrong, I feel very great about myself. Saying, oh, I'm daily uploading at this point, but it's just a matter of time. I can't really say when, but it's just a matter of time before that may come to an end. Sadly, because obviously I know that that's not gonna. I obviously know at some point this is gonna come to an end. Not saying that it's gonna eventually happen, but at the same time, I can kind of hint. I'm getting a hint towards that. I may not be keeping this up much longer. Again, unfortunate, but it is what it is. I just got to work with it. So, right now, what I'm just trying to do, since if we look at the photo on the histogram, the grand foreground, as we're going to call this, again, the grand foreground of this entire photo is completely, utterly underexposed, like something I've never seen before. So, I guess with the goal, instead of trying to expose the foreground like I did previously, we're going to try to keep it in some way, shape, or form kind of balanced between exposed and at the same time not entirely exposed, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to have the grain, noise, especially on this part. Because let's just say, for example, if we were to, that, no, that wouldn't be the right one. Let's say, for example, which one would it be? Shadows, maybe? Yeah, if I even try to attempt that, believe it or not, since this was shot on my tripod and I don't even know how long this took, roughly about a second. You see this, like, I don't even know what you would call this. But anyways, that's just something that we're not gonna dive into. Again, my goal is just trying to have a balance as far as with the background. I'm sorry, with the foreground. Then maybe with the masking technique, we'll try to do something here with the sky. But overall, not really much is going to be taking place on this photo. So, but that doesn't that's no that is no excuse as to I'm going to take this as a light day. No, I'm still going to try to see and utilize as many tools that I know as far as to make this photo more interesting, right? So that's as far as right now, that's kind of the main goal for me. Now, kind of like I've stated previously the last video. Believe it or not, this was a photo I already had roughly a few weeks ago. ever since I really started this journey. This was a photo that I had in mind. I had in mind to work on. And maybe what I was thinking is to crop and just have this section here, because here, since this is on a nearby, this is kind of like, I don't know what would you say it in English, but pueblo. This is my rancho, I guess you would say, in Mexico. And this is the nearby, and this is the church that they have in the rancho. So I was maybe debating on probably cropping it, but I don't know how that would turn out. But I still like how the overall photo came out, so I may just leave it as it is. May not do any changes. But as far as right now, yeah, that's basically what I have for right now. We've done a few changes, not much. But like I said, I want to be very careful with not trying to expose too much of this foreground, because like we've already seen, that's not gonna turn out pretty good. So I think after looking at it, if we need to have any more changes, then we'll come back to it. But as far as for right now, I think we're good. Let's just before and after. All right, something. So that's that. Let's go for our tone curve now. Let's yeah, maybe this is the let's see here. Okay, if I were to put this back in place, I'm sure the clipping would start. Yep. All right, so let me just slightly, ever so slightly, just maybe a slight increase there, maybe. All right, but we'll see how it goes. And we just do our normal changes, right? Which probably may not be much. Again, also kind of like what I've stated, I'm trying to really keep my videos under 30 minutes. 30 minutes now is kind of my new top, so I'm trying to keep it under, because I'm sure with you guys, I don't think it'd be really interested to see me adjust some sliders for roughly 30 minutes or so. So that's also one thing I also wanted to point out. That's probably going to be personally for me, a goal I'm going to try to set myself, try to keep my videos under 30 minutes. I'm going to try my best. Because, yeah, don't get me wrong, this laptop is good and all. It can handle a lot, but I didn't really put too much thought into storage, because you'd be surprised how much a 40-minute long raw video like this, no cuts, no edits, just 40 minutes of footage, 4K 30 FPS, you'd be surprised how quickly that drain up your, or that how quickly it will run up the, or fill up the storage. So that is definitely one mistake I made, but I can't really do much with that. It is what it is at this point. Maybe as far as for right now, the tone curve, I think we're gonna leave it as it is. If we need to make any more changes, we'll come back to it. But as far as for right now, I think we should be good. Color mixer, I see that mostly the orange, possibly maybe the red, and the yellow is gonna be used. Everything else, really, it's not gonna be utilized. So who knows? You know, we'll skip. Actually, no, we'll work on this, because I was gonna say color grading. We'll do that first, and then color mixture. But then I remembered color grading is normally done after you do all your edits. So we're just gonna keep it as it is, or we're just gonna first start off with color mixer. Red, yeah, you can see portions here of the sunset. Actually, believe it or not, I think that should be good. Okay, it's a very slight difference that you can see here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but here, maybe right there. It's very slight, but I actually like it, so we're gonna leave it like that. Luminance. Yeah, we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna undo that quickly. Okay, that's for the red, for the most part. And then any orange. Okay, that should be good. Let's see here. I don't. No, that'd be a little bit too much. Okay, maybe for as far for orange, not much change. It's probably gonna go with the same thing for yellow. So for right now, even though it's kind of minor, we're gonna leave color mixture alone. Let's see here. We are gonna do yet again an attempt for manual noise reduction. Even though I would say I did a fairly good job last time. I mean, I can't really complain. So now I just gotta see. Because what I tend to do is I just tend to, you guys see me do a lot, just move the sliders up and down. Because that way here it gives me an idea of, oh, is something really actually changing or not? What if I zoom in? Okay. I don't see much change there. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really see. Again, like I stated, I try my best to. Yeah, I really don't see any changes. Well, yeah, like I've been trying to say, I try my best to capture the photo as in focus as possible. But obviously, especially in my early days of photography, I know there's some photos that are questionable. So maybe as far as for detail, we're gonna leave it as that. I kind of want to leave color grading for last, although that might just not be the case. Vignetting, we're not gonna do that. Like I stated, crop, I don't think we are gonna do a crop. So we're just gonna head into color grading then. Since this is obviously towards the warmer side naturally, we're gonna lean a little bit more towards the warmer side, and I blanked out for a sec because I don't know, I just did this just out of pure coincidence, but I don't know, do I like that? Let's see. No, okay, yeah. More looking at it, I tend to like roughly this portion more of the color grading, as if, especially when I'm trying to color grade my photos onto the warmer side. So that's something. So let's see if there's anything else. Let's see here. Saturation. Oh shit. Okay, let's see this. Okay, maybe just a slight increase, because at the same time I don't want to overdo it too much. Luminance. Okay, yeah, just maybe just a slight increase, maybe. For the global, we'll leave that as it is, but I think so far I like how it is. Shadows, I'm guessing we're gonna be okay. Well, we're gonna be really affecting the whole photo, but let's see. Why is that? That's rather weird. Let's see what. Okay, well, let's see what else. Believe it or not, I think I'm actually gonna put this more towards the. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe does that look better? Oh, I would need to really sit down and check. I would really need to see if that would be a better alternative for that. Let's see. I'm kind of leaning more towards, I don't know. I'm kind of in between putting the shadows in the cool section or putting it more towards the warmer section. But at the same time, I don't like how that looks with the sky. Okay, more looking at it. I don't like how it came out. But maybe now as it is, maybe that's a little bit better. Okay, that's more better because I did it way too orange. So we're gonna leave that as it is. Like as I was saying, shadows, I'm not sure if I want to really change it a lot because, I mean, since I've already kind of, for the global section, I've already kind of pushed its limits, and shadows is normally already affecting the whole photo. So for right now, for the meantime, we're just gonna not do anything with shadows. Midtones, okay, this is gonna affect the sky, so we can do something with this. You know, actually, believe it or not, I think that's the right. I think that's just the one that I was looking for, roughly. So yeah, I think that should be good. All right, for right now, we'll just leave midtones as it is. Let's see what else. We're gonna go to the highlights, which yet again, it's gonna be really affecting the the sunset, the actual portion where it's actually where you can see the orange. And believe it or not, I think right there, how we had it. Yeah, I actually like that. All right, so now with that in mind, let's do blending. I wonder what will blending do? Okay, I actually, believe it or not, I like it. Even though I really don't know what I'm really doing, I tend to like it more on this side. So I'm gonna increase it. And then with balance, actually, in other words, okay, maybe that might be better. Okay. All right, I think that should be good. Now let's. Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess that should be good. I like that so far. All right. Let's see a quick before. All right. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, really, we just kind of brought the picture more towards the warmer side, and I really haven't touched much on this foreground as we're calling it. But if we go here to our histogram, it's not. I guess what's the right term? I think the actual right term is clipping, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's not underexposed heavily. It's not too underexposed. I'm just gonna say it like that. But I think it's clipping, but I'm not entirely sure. That's the good thing because I normally go right here to see if it's clipping, but since it's not, so we should be good. Anything else? Oh yeah, let's do a mask with the sky. Let's see what changes we can do here. Although there may not be much to do with this guy, but let's just give it some few changes to see or let's try to attempt to do some changes to see what else we can do. So as far as with contrast, I'm gonna actually, yeah, decrease it, or I'm sorry, increase it a little bit more. Exposure, yeah, I would not want that. All right, maybe just a slight increase with highlights. That should be good enough. With shadows, maybe a slight decrease as well, because I'm trying to have a nice blend between exposed and underexposed with the sky right now. With whites, I don't think much should be done with here. Black's kind of the same thing, yeah. Anything else? Maybe with a tone curve here for the shadows. A slight decrease maybe. Then with midtones maybe an increase maybe, just slightly. And with the highlights. Okay, with the highlights I actually do want just a slight increase. Okay, well. This should be good now. Okay, well. Alright, let's see. I think that should be it. I think that should be it. Now let's just do a quick before. It's roughly before. Let's see if what. Yeah, it was kind of underexposed, maybe even a little bit noisy. And then now. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, actually, believe it or not, and we're still good with the clipping, right? So that's roughly good. And believe it or not, I think anything else I would want to add, quite frankly, I don't think so, because cropping, like I stated, no. Believe it or not, I think, yeah, I think that concludes the photo for today. I mean, I can see how recently I've been just, even though I'm saying I'm not being light, I can see how I'm just taking it easy in a way. But again, it's just trying to, for me to get more comfortable, get more used to with the Lightroom tools, get maybe a little bit more, I guess, knowledge or hands-on experience. There you go. Just a little bit more experience as far as how these tools can adjust or alter a photo. That's really what I've been doing. Again, I really kind of haven't been living up to my promises that I've written down here, concerning the fact that I haven't gotten out. I haven't even done the first goal, which is taking better or even interesting photos, concerning the fact that I just haven't even been taking photos. But not trying to say that it's no excuse or I'm trying to make up excuses, but like I've stated, my schedule more recently, and it's probably not going to get more lighter anytime soon in the future. It's just kind of chaotic right now. So even though I see maybe roughly multiple opportunities, the fact that I gotta go in my book bag and get my camera, who knows, maybe even change the lens, that's what kind of the hassle is. That's what the hassle for me right now. As far as living up to my first goal, that's my what would you say? That's, like I'm saying, that's just my hassle. So unfortunately, I can't do much. I mean, I wish I just had the time. I wish I had roughly, even if it is just 30 minutes to go around, find at least one interesting photo. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Now, even though that's not the case, at the same time, as I'm actually progressing with these photos, especially this past week that I've been just mostly working on photos that I have stored away in my memory card, it actually gives me, I wouldn't say a challenge, but at the same time, in a way, yes, and also an opportunity. For one, I want in some way, shape, or form the photos that I have stored on my memory card to kind of see the light of day, if that makes sense. Because I didn't take roughly 1,000 photos in Mexico for no reason. I don't think that was the whole case. So, although in one way, if you look at it on one way, yeah, I'm breaking already my promise as to what I intended to on day 10. But on the other hand, I see it gives me not only an opportunity to go back and see what photos I can edit, publish, whatever. But since this was roughly, I guess I can call it on my amateur stage. Granted, I'm still on my amateur stage, but I kind of know more now as far as how to take a better picture. It kind of gives me a challenge as to what I was doing, and hopefully that's also a learning curve to what I can do better in the future, right? It's maybe something, maybe who knows, maybe now that's going to be my excuse for not taking a photo. Obviously, I don't want that to be the case, but it's just a thought, especially these past couple of photos that I've been editing, that they've been from my trip to Mexico. It's just been a thought that's been coming up to my mind that, yeah, I'm not living up to my promises that I made on day 10, but at the same time, this gives me an opportunity to see what photos I took pretty decent in Mexico, and that way here I work on them. Because what I tend to do is I tend to just go through, click, and just scroll and see what photos I like. And I already have roughly two, maybe even three photos in mind already for the day or the video that I get to record that I didn't take a photo that day, right? So it's just something that I just have in mind. But again, I'm gonna try my best to really live up to these goals, because like I stated, I don't know when the next critique photo, or critique video will be. But I'm not trying to make that. I can already tell you guys right now, I'm not trying to make that on day 20. I'm trying to probably push that to day 50 or so, but who knows? Maybe soon, because I'm roughly 20. I'm about to reach what this is day 16, if I can, yeah, day 16, yeah. And I haven't even showed you guys, or I haven't even talked through about what gear am I using, what camera am I using, what lenses I'm using. So that already may be an interesting day 20 video. Who knows? That's just kind of a thought I had, especially just today. So that may be something I may consider, because I'm sure roughly 16 videos in and you guys don't know what gear or what camera, what lenses I'm using to capture these photos. So that may be a future video on its way. But enough said with that. That really concludes all for today. Again, I'm gonna try to push this, or try to keep it under 30 minutes. And again, my goal would be to try to upload it the same day, which would be the 2nd. So that's gonna be my goal. But we'll I'm sure that I'm sure that, I don't know, like I stated, I don't know how long that's gonna last, but for the meantime, I'm enjoying it, and I like the momentum I have right now. But that's as far as right now what I have. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.